They said it wasn't humanly possible. All the power and excitement of Nintendo right in the palm of your hand. Introducing Game Boy. It's portable, it's in stereo, and its games are interchangeable. Game Boy comes complete with batteries and the outrageous new game Tetris. And for head-to-head competition, use Video Link and blow your opponent away. Game Boy, only from Nintendo. Now you're playing with power, portable power.
The Game Boy, 1989, released. There was the Game Boy Advance, the Game Boy Color, the Game Boy Pocket. But in 1989, with 517 games released over its console life cycle, the Nintendo Game Boy was, is, and will continue to be the basic block when it comes to handhelds. Can improve on perfection. The screen color, maybe. Graphics, maybe. Other than that, it's simplicity at its finest. Nintendo Game Boy, 1989. Beauty and the Beast. Now, I know I promised I wouldn't say anything, and I would just let y'all enjoy the gameplay. But how many of y'all knew there was a Blade Game Boy game with Wesley Snipes on the Game Boy? I didn't say it was very good, but I did say that there was a Blade game. Blues Clues, yeah. We just figured out Blues Clues. Buffy the Vampire Slayer on Game Boy. Now, this is what I mean. These old game systems had games for days. Now you get 14 games for a console life cycle, and the system is over with, and they're talking about the newest system. Back in the day, there were games for days for any system that was out. What is Carl Lewis's game? I think more impressive is that no matter what game came out for another console, Game Boy was there to give their own rendition. Howbeit, it may not always be the best rendition because you got to work with what you got to work with, but I give them credit for being there. Now you know where that franchise Nintendogs came from. Now, I know you don't think we're going to sit here and play all 518 games, because that would be ridiculous. Just giving you a menagerie of a bunch of them, a cornucopia. Just giving you a little bit of buffet so you can, feel what I'm saying. Puts my mind to Rat Racer. the true Paperboy sequel that we needed, but that we didn't get. I didn't even think Dragon Ball was possible on the Game Boy. But yeah, bro. It happened. It happened. Like I said, when it comes to old school systems, they made sure they had something for everybody who was playing the game. It didn't matter who was playing the game, there was something for everybody. Yeah, they had a ton of Mary-Kate and Ashley games, in case you guys didn't know. Games for boys, games for girls, games for teens, games for everybody. Men in Black. I told you, it was no joke. They had something for everybody when it came to these old game systems. This is the reason why I'm showing you just what happened. Mortal 4. Surprisingly, I can make out that that's Raiden and Reiko. I know. It's insane. Mr. Nuts. Like I said, there's so many games for back in the day you would not believe. Shaq would never make that shot. My man dunked from the foul line. I ain't saying he was Jordan, but I'm going to say that's very Jordan-esque. NBA Jam, Yeah, they had it on here too. In the Zone, Showtime, Blitz, football. Like I said, Blades of Steel, the old Nintendo classic from NES. Like I said, you Nicktoons Racing. All right, it's just way too much, way too much, way too much.
Can you ever have too much games?
Never, never have too much games. All right, I'm gonna stop it here because it's just it goes on. It keeps going. Like I've skipped through so much, and we only on P's. We only on the P's right now. The Pokemon games, yeah, they all here. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't understand. Like, yeah, we are. They're all here. Now I know some people are like, "You're not busting no games. You showing us, but you ain't busting no games." This is what I call gaming ASMR. There is a huge set of gamers who don't partake in the game. They like to sit next to people and watch them game. They like to watch the game. They like to enjoy it because they believe they would be no good at it. They would believe they would die instantly, fall off a cliff, get their spinal cord ripped off. And yeah, very well may so. It could happen. But they enjoy watching the games and just seeing what it is because it's visual art. So for my ASMR gamers, my second seat gamers, my player 2 that likes to sit off to the side and watch people game, this is why I do this. I get to show you and showcase some of the great games on these systems. Now, the Game Boy was 1989. It's 2025. Now we have the Nintendo Switch 2, the ROG Ally, the Steam Deck. We have all these handheld games that are basically handheld computers now. But back in the day, the simplicity of the Game Boy was a few batteries, a handful or a pocket full of your favorite cartridges, and you can go in a car to the beach. You could play it in school in the cafeteria. You could play it in the bathroom. You could go out in the backyard and bust it. The portability was that you could take it anywhere and have fun anywhere. Now, the library of games is over 500, somewhere around 517, 518, maybe even more if you include like imports. So you're talking about over 500 games. Picture that many cartridges in your pocket. Can't do it. I would love to meet someone with the entire Game Boy collection, but I don't think I've ever seen it yet. But digitally, you have that ability now, something that you weren't able to do back in the day. Now, the Game Boy, for what it was and in its time, was more than innovative. It was more than a world breaker, because with Nintendo and the NES, they proved there was a market still for gaming after the great game crash of the 80s. They proved there was still a market. Now, with the handheld Nintendo, the Game Boy, they had no idea the affinity for taking gaming on the go with you. It just so happens that there's a lot of times you're sitting in a doctor's office and you got a 35-45 minute wait. Pop out the Game Boy, start playing. The kids are getting on your nerves. You hand them the Game Boy, they can link up. Some of them can link up together with cables. They could play, keep them busy for hours. The affinity of the Game Boy was that it was something that adults, teenagers, and children could use. You could take it with you on the go or in the same room, where if somebody wanted to watch their soap stories, they could, and you got the headphones in your ear and you bust in Game Boy. You could bust Game Boy for hours. There are some games, that Mario World game on Game Boy to this day is ASMR nostalgia in my ears. So when I hear dun 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 Mario and the 7 gold coins. This system sold more than 118 million units. 118 million units. That means there was over 118 million people out there with a Game Boy in their purse, in their pocket, in their back pocket, in the jeans, in the Eddie Bauer, in the book bag, in the Trapper Keeper, in the pencil case. Like, there were Game Boys everywhere. And this is my favorite model of Game Boy, but it's also the only Game Boy I don't own. Mother Green and her gray machine is the only Game Boy, and I had one when I was young. I don't know what happened to it, but it is the only Game Boy that I don't own. But digitally, I still got it. And with the Nintendo Switch, you can recapture some of those games. Definitely not 517. I don't think they have the license for all of them. So thank you for joining me for some gaming ASMR this lovely late night. This was Game Boy, Nintendo. And like I said, we moved on to bigger, better things. It's true. But bigger and better doesn't always mean fun. I could probably say there's maybe 20 Switch 2 games. 517. I'm quite sure there'll be more than that once the Switch 2 runs and gets on its feet. But I didn't say put on Black Bass, but thank you. Anyways, thank you guys for joining me. I'll see you next time here in the Game Dojo for some gaming ASMR. I love these videos. I might do a lot more of these. If you guys love these videos, show some love by liking, show some love by commenting, show some love by viewing them, and let me know if you like this gaming ASMR, because sitting back just watching these things, I'm getting flashbacks of a childhood and memories that I did, and it's amazing. Anyway, I could talk forever. Not going to do it. I'll see you guys later. Thank you for joining me.